There's a variety of tools that are available to you in the back area of the room that you can use for texture. And there's even a container filled with a lot of metal pieces that I stole from the robotics team. More gifted, I guess. They were gifting it to me. But all these can be used for creating texture. One thing that can really help your project out before you start creating your own texture is to actually work with a smoothing device like this, which is a wet sponge, to kind of do this kind of as a final thing, to really make your project look smooth first. Why that's going to help is that it'll make it so your texture is easier to see. You won't get lost in kind of like the uneven parts or areas where maybe you had some cracks. So it's just a good way to increase the craftsmanship of your project, which craftsmanship is one of the grading requirements for all of your projects. So today's focus, I wanted to talk about how you create patterns. So pick some things from the back of the room and make a pattern out of it. So a pattern is a repetition of shapes. So for example, I might take this tool and press in some real well-defined circles on each of the corners of this example slab container. All right, and make that be something that I put on each of the corners. Right? The repetition of these circles makes it a pattern. Right? So maybe between each of these circles, I'm going to use one of the other tools to kind of start the pattern. So maybe I'll take this gear and press that in and just roll it across to make another part of the pattern. All right? As long as you're real careful about it, you can make kind of a unique looking pattern that adds some interest to your project. You'll remember that I mentioned earlier in this trimester that one of your goals as an artist with the projects that you make is to try to draw somebody's attention to your work and have them kind of hold that attention. So it isn't something that they just kind of glance at and then look away because they're not as interested in it anymore. And I think texture, especially in sculpture, is one of like the main things that you can do to really draw somebody's attention in. All right, then other things, we've got all these tools in the back that you can work with, like wooden modeling tools you can press in to create different designs. But I actually really like loop tools. I think they give you the best kind of bang for the buck in terms of making your project really unique and interesting. So for example, I know the clay is about that thick. I could, for this entire top section, have an area of the project that is a little bit lower down. As long as I'm real careful in the way that I carve, I'm going to carve that away. Maybe I do that for all 4 edges. You just want to make sure that you're not carving so deep that you're making your clay too thin. Okay, so maybe I make that around all 4 edges, and then I've got this raised area that I can do some other designs with. Like maybe I just want to make some like real kind of squiggly lines. So I'm maybe repeating this S design. The thing that I love about the loop tools is that your lines are going to look really nice, and you can take the clay off the project rather than it being something that you're just scratching in. And sometimes there's going to be little bits of clay that you just want to wipe off with your finger because you don't want them to kind of get in the way or make your project sharp. But these are all things that you can do with these tools. So larger loop tools are in the back of the room. The smaller ones are on the desk up front here. But I wanted to just show you now on kind of the finished example that I have over here. Now, what I'm kind of expecting is that most areas of your project are going to have some kind of texture applied to them. Now, I didn't use any of the kind of pressing in texture tools for this project. For this one, I was just using the loop tools to really kind of make most of the surface have some kind of texture. So you can see that it really adds a little bit of an interesting look to the project. It catches the glaze differently, so the areas that are higher up have kind of a whitish look through, whereas lower down the glaze kind of is thicker because it kind of acts with gravity when it goes to the kiln. But all these things are things I want you to think about when you're kind of finalizing your project. So leather hard works best for cutting your lid, but it also works best for carving your texture, because then the clay is going to come off easily with the loop tools, and also not have any fingerprints or anything as you're starting to create your texture.